How's it going, everyone? NDSean45 here. Now, in this day and age, when you speak out against Black Lives Matter, what is the common response that you usually get? Very simple. You're racist. You're racist. You are racist. Now, the people that come back with that I'm not going to call it an argument, because it's not an argument, but we'll say comment. The people that come back with that comment, I think, at least I like to think anyway, it's one of these two things. Number one, they are mistaken and they think that you're talking about black people in general and not just the Black Lives Matter organization. Or number two, they're just stupid and they don't have a logical, reasonable argument to come back with. And I'm pretty sure it's number two. Because my lord, let me tell you guys something. These past few weeks, I have dealt with a lot of that. Been called racist quite a number of times. Not here on YouTube, various other places on social media. And it is just absurd what goes through these people's minds. I did make a video a few weeks ago, which I'm sure a lot of you probably did see, talking about my thoughts on this and all the things that are going on right now with Black Lives Matter. And for the most part, I think it got a pretty positive response. Nobody really said anything negative about it. I did have one good friend, and I'm not going to say who it was because I don't want him to think that I'm calling him out, because I'm not. But I just want to repeat what was said about it. That's all. But a good friend of mine told me that it was a very bold video on my part to do. And I get it was bold in a good way. He told me that, hey, Sean, that was great for you to get on here and speak your mind and not hold back while doing it, which I appreciated. I appreciated that very much. Just the only drawback to that, which I don't even know if I'd really call it a drawback, but I don't see how that video was so bold, because as far as I'm concerned, I just got on here and told the truth. With the ridiculousness of our society right now, and Black Lives Matter, and the political correctness, and the cancer culture, you can only sit on the sidelines for so long. And for me, there came that time where I had to get on here and say something. Not that, I'm really going to make a difference, but, those were thoughts that had to be put out there. And as far as I'm concerned, like I said, that video, I did nothing but tell the truth, because Black Lives Matter, and I'm talking the organization, not black people in general, okay? Because I know there's a lot of black people out there who don't support BLM. But just to rehash what I said in the video that I made a few weeks ago, Black Lives Matter, as far as I'm concerned, they're a dictatorship. They're all about black supremacy. They're not about bringing us together. They are nothing but a bunch of hypocrites who are self-entitled. They have a mentality of the world owes me something, and they don't really give two shits about half the stuff that they're talking about, if not all of it. Because I really doubt that these people involved with this organization give two shits about George Floyd or any of that stuff. Because let me tell you guys something, and like I said in that past video, if these people actually gave a shit about black lives, and they would say all black lives, not just when a black person gets killed at the hands of a police officer, they would be protesting nonstop for black on black crime, blacks killing one another, and they would also be in the bad neighborhoods fighting against Planned Parenthood, who were killing black babies every single day. Where's the protest for those people? And for that, the black on black crime and the black on black murder? Nowhere to be found. But yeah, the past few weeks, I've really gotten into it with a few people on another social media platform. Actually, my buddy Shamrock Jerry and I both have been going toe-to-toe with, ironically, a former Notre Dame football player, who I will leave nameless, mostly to save him the embarrassment. But yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous with the mindset of these people. And what I said about BLM, look at what has followed since this group came about. We have rioting, we have looting, we have buildings being set on fire, monuments being torn down, freaking city blocks being taken over by a bunch of radical left-wingers, or liberals I should say, whatever you prefer to call them. Cancer culture has run amok. TV shows have been canceled like Live PD, Cops, and they're going after a freaking kid show called Paw Patrol because the dog is a cop. Uncle Ben's, Aunt Jemima, amongst so many other things. You had a CNN reporter at Mount Rushmore for the celebration tonight refer to Thomas Jefferson and George Washington not as the founding fathers, but as slaveholders. I mean, and then on top of that, you have these little bastards like Shaun King, who I don't know if he's actually a Black Lives Matter leader, but he's definitely a talking head and a parrot to them, that's for sure. He just recently came out and said that Jesus Christ needs to be removed because that promotes white supremacy. Are you freaking kidding me? Jesus Christ promotes white supremacy? What in the hell is wrong with people today? I mean, I'm not trying to sound dramatic. I mean, this is speaking from the heart right here, people. This stuff is absurd. Absolutely absurd, and what I just said right there tops it all. How could you say that Jesus Christ represents white supremacy? Jesus Christ represents all of us. All of us. He doesn't see color. And that's actually a point that I could go on and on about, but that's definitely something that could solve a lot of problems, is, people finding God, finding Christ. But when it gets to that point, I mean, holy cow. But in addition to that, and other things are popping up, like now they're bringing back the Washington Redskins name thing. People are starting to bring that up, which I don't see how the George Floyd thing has anything to do with this, considering the fact that he's black and this is about Native Americans. How do the two even go together? It's ridiculous. Absolutely absurd ridiculousness of a society that we have right now and the times we are living in. I mean, I'd just like to know where things went wrong. Well, actually, I know that answer. It was the Garden of Eden, but, when Adam and Eve disobeyed God, but that's another story. But in recent times, how has it gotten so bad to where the mob mentality rules? And that the politicians are giving into them, and that companies are kowtowing to them. And now we got this, and I could do a separate video about all this stuff, but the Black National Anthem. That's another thing with Black Lives Matter too. They talk so much about bringing everybody together and trying to unify everybody, but yet they do some of the most segregational type things you can think of. And I think having your separate national anthem would be one of them. So basically we want to unify everybody as long as it's under our rules. You kowtow to us. So calling BLM a dictatorship, I really don't think that's inaccurate. But look, guys, I didn't expect to talk for 8 minutes in this video, because I have another video that I want to show you, another video within a video. And no, this time it's not from my buddy Ted. This is from a guy that I just happened to stumble across in the last week. His name is Deron Slater, and he I don't really know too much about him. I just know he runs a Christian organization, and he's a conservative Christian man, and he said it the best, even better than what I just did here, about this whole situation. So on that note, guys, let's play the clip, and you guys will see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Get in your car.
You better shut the fuck up.
He's just old.
I don't give a fuck how old he is. I don't give a fuck how old he is.
No, I can be on his fucking video. Fuck it.
Fuck.
Get in your fucking car and go.
You get your motherfucking ass right before you get slapped too, bitch.
Fuck you.
Stop.
Fuck you.
Peckwood ass bitch.
Get in your car.
Fucking crack ass bitch.
Get in your car.
I'll beat the fuck out of you.
Fuck you.
What? Yeah, on camera. On camera. Yeah, on camera.
Attacking me. Just leave me alone.
Get in your car and go.
Go.
Fuck all you crackers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, please get in your car.
Get the fucking camera off me.
Please go.
Take that motherfucker.
Sir, please get in your car. Please go.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Straight up. Ah, you want the Trump?
Hell yeah.
What?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
What?
Hell yeah. Straight from Chicago, y'all. All Trump. All Trump.
Hell's
Hey, too educated to be a house. Never been on the plantation, brother. I never been on the plantation, brother. I never been on the plantation, have you? Have you been on the plantation before? Right. So don't ask me about me then. Yeah, okay. You're not gonna make me shut up, brother. You can talk all jazzy all you want to. Yeah, okay.
With everything that we're seeing going on in Minneapolis, I mean, with the police defunding and all of that, how does that affect the community there?
So, okay, so just to summarize it, right?
Yeah.
Majority of the people that are there, so they burned down my community. That was my community. That's where I used to hang out at down there on Lake Street in Minnehaha, right?
Yep.
So that was my community they burned down. But here's the thing, okay, just in a nutshell. All those people, they want the police. But see, this is typical of liberal policies. They only want what's best for them in that moment, not longevity. They don't take about the future. They don't think about that. They don't take into consideration. Like, okay, what's going to happen if we do this? This is why every inner city is basically, I call them modern day plantations. You get your provision, right? You know,
Yep.
no education,
Yep.
a lot of violence to keep people oppressed, and you sell them a false narrative that the white man is against you. You are oppressed. This is America. This is a land of opportunity. And when you look at history, you can be anything that you want to be. All you have to do is work hard at it. And so they talk about there's income inequality.
Thank you very
much.
Thank you very much.
A lot of people don't want to put in the same amount of effort. So there's effort inequality. And I'm just telling you, my family, I'm from Chicago. I grew up in a gangster liberal family. And basically where I am right now, I don't talk to the majority of my family because they don't care about facts. I care about facts. And here's the thing, I want to make sure that I have an informed opinion, not just an opinion. So I want to be on the right side of history. Because here's the thing, I mean, here's the ugly thing about it. This is the same policies, these are the same people. The slave master mentality, the same party that Abraham Lincoln had to fight against, the radical Republicans, the civil rights movement, who they had to fight against. It was all Democrats that wanted all that crap, segregation, Jim Crow laws, etc. All Democrats. They have fought against all civil rights legislation. It's been Republicans that has voted for all civil rights legislation all through history. It's been Republicans. And I always tell my base, it's not about your color, it's just about the history, okay? The history is like Black Wall Street, 1921, they burned it down. I just left there, right? Thing is though, those blacks weren't Democrat. They were conservatives. Blacks didn't start voting Democrat until late 1939. And so it's like, so 1921, they burned that down. There wasn't conservative whites that burned it down. So we had to start telling the truth. And a lot of people are disingenuous. And we definitely need the truth. We just need the truth.
Yeah.
But Minnesota, I'm sorry, I could get you.
No,
But Minnesota,
yeah.
that is definitely the symptom of liberalism. How they just went around, they burned down everything. They actually hurt more minorities by burning down their business. So because their victim mentality created real victims. And they don't understand that. They don't understand that.
Right. And now, just so the viewers can get a more clear picture of what just happened, can you just explain in your words what just went down?
Well, so part over here, I'm coming this way, and I'm just recording the Mega family, and of course the racial slurs, the racial epithets, just hurling them out at one of the Trump sisters. And I'm just standing there, and he just noticed me standing there. He saw this hat, and that's the reason why I purchased it. Yep, so you can see it. He saw the hat, and he just definitely tried to come at me, but I'm not having that. I'm not. So, hey, yep, I'm straight from Chicago too. I mean, I can play tough guy if you want to, But yeah, I'm not having that.
So how do we have a dialogue with people like that and try to understand, you know, and come together as a country? I mean, what kind, in your words?
Let me.
Yeah.
So I have been trying to do this for 17 years to wake up my country. Because the riots and everything, I've been saying this for 17 years. If you don't check liberalism, this is what you're going to get. So now we have this country, everything is polarized, so much racial tension on false pretenses, okay? Just how Black Lives Matter was created on false pretenses, hands up, don't shoot. No, when you get to the facts, he reached for that cop's gun. So the way that we come together as a country is that we're fine, okay? We're fine. The thing is, are they willing to have dialogue? So, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
It's my mom. So are they willing to have dialogue? For 17 years, I have been telling liberals, come onto my platform and have a debate with me. I'm all about civil discourse. I even have my own Christian group, Christian patriotic group on Facebook, and I tell them I encourage dialogue. Why? So that way you're more well-versed. Why? Because I love Christian apologetics, but also I love being a patriot and I love capitalism. I'm conservative. Why do I love all that stuff? Because you look at history, this is why we have the greatest country. It's because of Christ and because of conservatism. And so they don't want, here's an ugly fact. So I did a video the other day. I said the fact with these liberals, every time I asked them about, tell me why Donald Trump is racist, they can't tell you. I say, well, do you know anything about Donald Trump's policies? They don't know anything about his policies. I go, do you know what he has done for blacks? They go, no, I don't know anything that he has done for blacks. I'm like, so you don't know anything about Donald Trump, his policies. What do you know about a conservative Christian? I don't know anything about a conservative Christian. Us conservatives, I know everything about liberalism. I even know their party's policies, Joe Biden's policies, and etc. And the crazy thing is the hypocrisy. It's so much hypocrisy. They want to vote for Joe Biden, the same person in 1990, was it 92 or 94?
Yeah.
92? So 92, who he basically said that blacks basically are predators, but not exactly, but just paraphrasing. He basically said that blacks are predators and they need to be arrested. And so, wow, what happens? They passed the bill, more blacks are arrested. But they voted for him, and then what did he just say not too long ago? I was actually in San Antonio, because I travel a lot. So I was in San Antonio, and I wake up, and I hear Joe Biden say on a black guy's show, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. That's the problem that's wrong with America. Your intellect, who you are as a person, has nothing to do with your race. Nothing. All we are is just Americans. And these people, they don't care about having dialogue. They want to stay angry. They love their victimhood. They love their oppression. And Candace Owens, she put it so eloquently, like when she said, you guys have not experienced true racism. You have not experienced systematic, systemic racism or whatsoever, and yet you are crying, and you are the most privileged generation in American history, and all you can do is cry. Those days are over. It's coming to an end. So that is my goal, and that's what I keep striving for.
You have such an emphasis on history, and another thing that we're seeing with these leftist movements are the destruction of monuments, the destruction of statues, because people believe they are symbols of oppression. What's your take on?
See, that's a power play. So, you familiar with liberal revisionism, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they don't teach the Reconstruction era because it shows the Democrats, the true Democrats, and what their policies were and how they truly were. They don't teach Reconstruction era in school. Actually, they have strayed away from civics entirely. But the thing is this, in just American history about that part, they have strayed away from that entirely. So when you get to destroy history, you can create another narrative. Hence, take an example, like how that guy just got out of the car and he's just hurling racial epithets at the sister, right? If he knew the truth, he would be standing on this side. Because the first blacks that were in Congress were all Republican. And these were freed slaves. They didn't cry the victim card. They didn't. They became doctors, business owners, and etc. And with the radical white Republicans. And they lived in good, thriving communities. Right down the street. That was one of them. So what do? They go in, and the same way they're using the media today, the same way they abused the media back then. Same party, same methodology, just a little bit different. That's it.
Wow.
Yep, that's definitely it. And actually, I want to show you something, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to continue that. But so it's been a while since So I just had this guy.
Yeah.
I can't show you his name because he was one of my old clients when I was a peer recovery specialist.
Wow.
He said, "I am going to hurt you bad."
Wow.
Uncle Tom asked. I'm like, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Yes." I'm like, "Are you really threatening me?" He goes, "Call John Cotton." So
Wow.
this is them,
Wow.
and that's what the ideology produces. It's just what the ideology produces.
Wow.
Yep. Can't do anything about
So
it.
do you
But try
get
to-
those threats a lot?
This was actually the first threat in probably about 5 months.
Okay.
I used to get them consistently.
Wow.
But hey, this just lets you know you're doing the right thing.
There you go, guys. That pretty much sums up Black Lives Matter. It's people who live off of victimhood. They love to play the victim. They base their views off of false pretenses and false narratives, and they run with it. That's really all it is. So yeah, guys, I know this was a long video. I didn't intend for it to be. I actually wanted to try to speak a little bit less than what I did, but that just tends to happen when I get going, and I have a lot of things on my mind. But you guys know that already by now. So with that, everybody have a great 4th of July weekend. Stay safe, and as always, God bless.